What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, and you tuned into another edition of my vlog. I want to say thank you for subscribing. Thanks for all the support. You know I'm all about that positivity and that motivation. And today I just want to talk about we've been duped. We've been tricked. We've been bamboozled. We've been indoctrinated to being slaves to the economy, to the system. Basically, robots that respond to stimuli. Yeah, man. They painted a picture as we went through school that when you did all these different curriculums, you would one day grow up to own a house, white picket fence, 2 kids, a dog, wife, and work for somewhere for 20-something years, retire, have 2 weeks of vacation a year, maybe get to travel outside the country if you're lucky, and live off your pension. Well, if you bought into that, and you're somebody right now at the retirement stage, you're probably trying to figure out how to go get another job because your retirement ain't covering your checks. It's not making ends meet. It's insufficient. And the thing is, as we were taught in school, we were taught just to work hard for somebody to make them a lot of money and to be happy with that, to be content being a worker. And for some people, that's all right. I'm not knocking those people who love to work for somebody, who don't want to have to worry about the hassles of running their own business, dealing with the tax deductibles, playing golf, private jets, yachts. If you don't want to be bothered with that stuff, I understand. You just want to work. But what they don't teach us is how to become a boss so that you can spend your time playing golf, sitting at long lunches, discussing mergers and acquisitions, making big moves. These are the things that, unless you're a part of that 1%, you'll never really know about. You'll never have access to. You'll never understand what it's like to entertain a lifestyle like that. And I know I catch a lot of slack because people say I'm very materialistic. I'm always talking about money, but I mean, look at the economy, man. What makes the world go around? What is all the hoopla about right now? It's all about who can get the next oil contract, what company is going to be in control of the next major electric battery. I mean, medically, what company's going to come up with the next cure for AIDS or cancer. I mean, it's all economics, man. So you could get mad and be frustrated, but I'm like, dude, I seen the light. I've been dirt poor. In prison, I had nothing. I had what I had in my locker, and that don't mean shit. It was just junk food, and that was what you had to be reduced to, and that's what you had to learn to appreciate. But I sat there and I started thinking of all the mistakes I made and what they taught me in school and how my relatives, what they perceive life to be about. And I realized that I had been led down the wrong path. I always wanted more, and I felt that I could be a bigger contributor to society as a boss rather than a worker. And so I took it upon myself that when I got out of prison, I was gonna make a difference being my own boss and showing others how to also maximize their skill set so that they could be self-employable and not at the whims of somebody else who at any given moment could fire them, and have to take more action as far as just financial responsibility. See, we as people, we don't want to think about certain things. So the job says, hey, we'll invest your retirement for you, and that way you can raise your kids, you can worry about your family, and that's not the way you should be looking at it. You should be looking at how can you manage your own retirement and how you can grow that, because they can make a bad investment just as easy, and the returns they're giving you on your investment is probably a small percentage of what they're making. And it's not that hard if you take the time to do the research to figure out how you can take your game to the next level. But school, it's on a schedule, man, and that schedule and the books they give you, have you ever thought about who wrote those books? Why there's certain things that have been left out? Why are there so many things about the economy that's not spoken of in there? They don't ever talk about the Treasury Department or the Federal Reserve or the congressional acts, or just the rich black people who had Black Wall Street, who were very successful, or the black people who were here before so-called slaves were brought in. They don't talk about none of this stuff. So there's so much left out, of just how everything came about. They don't talk about the opium traders of the day, these guys who were so-called settlers, who were basically drug dealers, drug peddlers, gangsters, and now they're in positions of power, and everybody thinks they're just, oh my God, they're in their best interest, but they're only about furthering their economic agenda. And if you're just that naive to where you don't want to hear about it, then this isn't really for you. But for those who want the truth, do your homework, man. Start reading, start learning about what the money system really consists of, and whether or not the stuff your kids learning in school is really going to help them, or they're going to be detrimental to their growth in the future. Your kid, if he's indoctrinated and brainwashed into believing the majority of what he's taught, and then by the time he gets to the point where he has an epiphany, he's going to be so messed up in the head, he could possibly implode. And I'm not saying all schools are like this. There's a lot of magnet schools that have curriculum outside the traditional, and the kids are being educated at a higher level. And you got kids that are maybe 12 years old in class with kids that are 17 years old, which I believe is the best thing, because why would you hinder the growth of a child's education? But these teachers are paid very well to teach knowledge, not just indoctrinate. And it's just sad, man, because I look at just what the typecasts are for just society, and how we have the different associations with different skin colors, and people have bought that because it's been indoctrinated. I remember sitting in class and being the only black kid in class, and at one point they're talking about slavery and Abraham Lincoln, how he freed the slaves, and you're supposed to be so grateful that this guy helped free your people. And I'm like, free my people? And then I get older and start reading about what really happened during slavery, and what it was really, the whole North and South thing was about as far as economics and voting. And I'm like, it's a damn joke, man. This is all a farce. We've been lied to. And now that you have the internet, and you can get all this information, and you can see what's really going on, and you can read about just so many things that weren't readily available because you had to go to a library and dig through I don't know how much information or microfiche. The game has changed. There's no excuse for you guys to be walking around in the dark anymore. There's no excuse for you to be mad or frustrated or not making an effort to change your economic conditions. And if you're happy, then damn well, be happy, man. If you like living month to month. And like I said, I don't judge people. I'm just saying for myself, man, and I'm just sharing my personal opinion because I always like to see a person excel to the highest level. Is that I want to be able to do that daily 8 hours on a golf course if I choose to, or be on the beach, checking my accounts, knowing that they've tripled or doubled. What's wrong with that? You don't you don't have to physically beat yourself up every day to think that you're actually having a rewarding life. You are contributing when you do that, and somebody has to do it. Somebody around us is going to have to build these buildings and do the handwork and the physical labor. But these guys walk around in suits, man. Have you ever thought about how they get in these positions? How they're able to, make all this money and maneuver, and why has it eluded you? I'm just saying, ask yourself the question, man. It's a lot of privilege and there's a lot of nepotism, but we know life is a connection, and I know I've always been out trying to find that elusive connection, and I just always think about, like, wow, why don't somebody question that guy? They say they're for the people, but do they really live like the people? I mean, how many houses does that guy have? Does he fly commercial? Does he fly private? I mean, everybody's getting emotional when this guy's giving a speech, but it's like a joke, man. These guys are laughing because they're just high-powered actors, and so the game it just amazes me. And then when you try to share certain things with your family members or friends, they get mad at you because they feel that you're trying to live outside your means, or you're trying to do more than you should be doing. And I don't get that either. Why would you not want me to break the cycle? Why would you not want me to be 10 times better than where you were at the same age, knowing that I'm the second generation or third generation? That's what I don't get, man. People do not support each other. People do not want to see others around them grow, and if it's growth beyond what they had. Like, when they say, well, I didn't have that at 16. Well, goddamn, yeah, you didn't have it, but your kids should damn sure have it. Why shouldn't they have it? Don't you get it? Don't you want your kids to have more? Don't you want your kids to be at the next tier where they don't have to work as hard as you did, but they can work smarter? It doesn't mean you're not working hard when you're not getting dirty every day. It just means that your work is smarter. It means that you've elevated to a point where now you can delegate that work and still get paid for it. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's life, man. But I just share these things because they pop in my head, and I'm just like, wow, man, I was duped, man. I bought into a lot of things, street things, hustle things, and hood things that was part of a program. And when I realized that program was a damn joke, I had to go back and delete all that stuff. And now when I try to break away from it, people who knew me in that old program get mad. They don't like the new program. The new program is not what they feel is the real me. They don't feel like that. They feel that program is beyond what my capability should be. I tell you, man, you got to shake a lot of people as you elevate up the economic ladder, man, and you got to just look at the big picture if you want to. If you don't want to, then cool. If you don't like making money, then cool. If you want to have to, beg and go get GoFundMe when you get sick and you need help in the hospital to pay your bills, and that's fine. I don't want to have to worry about that stuff. My people get sick, I want to just be able to check them into the best places to get the best treatment. If they need something, they got to fly out the country for it. I want to be able to afford to do that. I want to be able to enjoy life, see parts of the world I only seen in magazines and books, and I want to have the best of the best. And if you don't want that, then hey, man, more power to you. But for myself and my people, my friends, I want them to be able to experience that with me and enjoy the highest level of life. And like I said, I know I was duped, but I'm still dealing with the aftermath of having known I was duped, and I wasted so much time doing stupid shit. So now I'm trying to share so you guys don't do the same stupid shit, and you can cut some corners. You can make moves when the opportunity presents itself, because you have now a global scale you can play on. So, hey man, Big Herc 916, trying to keep you guys laced up. We all been duped to some degree. Others have been the ones manipulating the dupe, so they know what's up. But for us here who have climbed through the trenches, hey man, keep climbing. Don't let anybody step in your way. Don't let anybody tell you can't make it happen. And just think positive and stay motivated. Big Herc 916.